Hey everybody, T-Man again, bringing you guys another video, and this is the 31 days of WrestleMania countdown number 25 on the countdown. 25 days now away to WrestleMania, and I am doing it with style with my 31 WrestleManias, all in order in my opinion, which ones are the best WrestleManias of all time. And if you guys missed the countdown thus far, shame on you. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them. But I'm going to run it down. Go back and watch the rest of the countdown. Number 31 on the list was WrestleMania 11. Number 30 on the list was WrestleMania 16. Number 29 on my list was WrestleMania 22. Number 28 was WrestleMania 9. Number 27 was WrestleMania 2. Number 26 was WrestleMania 8. And now, as you see in the thumbnail, WrestleMania 25 is on the list is WrestleMania 23. And once again, on this countdown, I give you the exact reason why I rank each WrestleMania the way I do. I don't just rank it, I don't give you any reasons behind it. I'll give you reasons behind it. And let me tell you something. Every WrestleMania is good. I'm not demoting it just because this is just because this is the 25th WrestleMania on my list in order of best of all time doesn't necessarily mean this was a bad WrestleMania. This was a good WrestleMania, okay? WrestleMania 23 was good, okay? Headlined by John Cena defending the title against Shawn Michaels. But in this review of this WrestleMania, I give you the exact reason why it doesn't deserve to be any lower on the countdown in top 10, top 15, and the reason why it's exactly ranked here. And, I mean, you pretty much are paying for two big main events here in this match. It's the Undertaker Batista match, the world title versus the Streak, and Shawn Michaels HBK going up against John Cena. So let's get right into the card. The card opens up with the epic Money in the Bank, and take a load at the competitors that are competing in this Money in the Bank match. CM Punk, Mr. Kennedy, Randy Orton, Edge, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Booker T. You got some for sure already Hall of Famers and will be Hall of Famers. Like Orton's a for sure Hall of Famer. I'm sure at some point or the other, the Hardys at one point in the other will be in the Hall of Fame one day, probably as a tag team. CM Punk, if he ever repatches things with WWE, I'm sure he will, if that thing is. And the only guy that probably won't go to the Hall of Fame is the guy that won this Money in the Bank, and that is Mr. Kennedy. And real quickly, let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Kennedy here. I've always been a big fan of him, and I remember I was so happy when he won this match. I remember this. I was living in Hawaii at the time, and I was so pumped up because from the first time I saw Mr. Kennedy, I was blown away by his mic skills. His mic skills, well, second to none. Absolutely amazing. I bet you today WWE's really regretting the road Kennedy went down, and I blame WWE for this, because God, I mean, I bet you the WWE would love to have a guy like Kennedy here today in 2016 that could cut mean promos and set up big matches. And I do blame WWE because, yeah, Kennedy won, and then he got injured, which Kennedy's even said in interviews that it wasn't a really significant injury, and they just took that briefcase off him right away and gave it on Edge, and then it was a good storyline. I'm not bashing that storyline because that would eventually lead Edge to challenge Edge and Undertaker to go in at WrestleMania 24 with the Undertaker chasing the belt from Edge. So I'm okay with that, but yeah, blown opportunity there. I think history would have looked fondly upon this thing if Kennedy would have became something and not just a one-hit wonder who would eventually, 2 years from that point, not even be with the company anymore. Second match was a dud. Great Khali versus Kane. I don't even remember the storyline going into that match to even make it on WrestleMania. It's not even memorable. I don't even remember the storyline going into that. Khali picking up the winner there. We got our famous murderer of WWE history, Chris Benoit versus MVP. Chris Benoit win. Very interesting thing JBL says after that match is For sure, first ballot Hall of Famer Chris Benoit. Yeah, that's not going to happen anymore, JBL, because little do we know that he's going to murder his family. Moving on from there, Batista versus Undertaker, the fourth match on the card. I thought it should have been the co-main. We should have had our two title fights as the main and co-main. Didn't quite happen. Undertaker, though, doing the right thing, winning the World Heavyweight title, sending the fans home happy. At least we got The Undertaker. I believe this match should have been the main event, and I'll tell you why later, why I think this match should have been the main event between Undertaker and Batista. Moving on from there, a very forgettable match with the original ECWs against the new blood of ECW. That's back when they were trying to get the new ECW show off the ground and it just failed. And everyone in that match, like, I'm not even going to name the wrestlers, like the Vampire Guy, Matt Striker, taking on the ECW Originals, which the ECW Originals won. But very forgettable match there. Here's two divas that I bet you completely forgot about that had a match one-on-one. Ashley and Melina. That's, remember Punk Rock Ashley? And then Melina, who was with Team M&M, Nitro, and Mercury, who Nitro is now Johnny Mundo at Lucha Underground. Anyways, Melina picks up the win there. And then finally ending the match. And the reason why this is not the worst WrestleMania of all time is because the main event between John Cena and Shawn Michaels was a 5-star match. At this time, especially at this time, John Cena was never known to have a great match. Okay, but Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, delivered and really, in my opinion, gave John Cena that first whoa match, like that first wow match. I mean, John Cena's had more of them as his career like continued past, especially lately on me, because you could bash John Cena. I'm not the biggest John Cena fan myself, but he really did improve a lot over the years of wrestling, and I think Shawn Michaels gave him a big lesson. But the reason why it has to be ranked the way it does, the reason why I believe this card made a lot of mistakes is that WWE made the same mistake they made 1 year prior. We were back at WrestleMania 22 when Triple H was the big heel and John Cena was the babyface, and the fans were fully behind Triple H. You think they would learn the lesson. Now, this match here at WrestleMania 23 was actually supposed to be a rematch to have Triple H and John Cena. Part 2 was supposed to be the rematch. Didn't happen. Triple H got injured. They put Shawn in there. The fans were surely behind Shawn Michaels. And if you were going to have John Cena win that match, why send the fans home booing with him beating Shawn Michaels? Not just beating him with like an attitude adjustment or 1, 2, 3. He made Shawn Michaels tap out. That rubbed everybody, including myself, the wrong way. If you were going to do that, they should have had Batista and Undertaker end the night, for we could at least send the fans home happy with the Undertaker winning the world title, sending them home happy, if they weren't planning on having both guys supposedly be babyfaces. But no doubt about it, that was the match of the night. The main event that was the match of the night. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. And in good conscience, I can't put this any lower. You know, if anything, I probably could have put it maybe a little bit higher on the countdown. Like higher, like, you know, worse. But no, I think this is a good spot for it. I think number 25 on the countdown to the 31 days of WrestleMania is a good place for WrestleMania 23. And it's good. I'm not bashing. This was a good card. But those little problems with a lot of guys who's not even in the WWE and won't even be in the Hall of Famers, like the ECW Originals and Ashley and Melina, MVP, Chris Benoit, Great Khali, I don't know will ever be in the Hall of Fame. You know, Kennedy, who won it, probably won't be in the Hall of Fame. His career was too short. With all those things combined, good WrestleMania at the time, but can't rank it any lower on the countdown. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the countdown and any of the wrestling and MMA videos I'm doing. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for number 24 on the countdown. Take care, guys.